What's up guys, today we are going to be looking at some of the more impressive, some of the more deadly and more minus decapable boss mechanics in Wrath of the Lich King. Boss mechanics are things that bosses do. This bony guy, for example, likes to cosplay as a Beyblade. And that's his mechanic that. The way I judged things on this list is based on a mixture of how hard the mechanic is, how many people need to work together to handle it, how impactful the mechanic is to the raid if you fail it, and what you need to do to mitigate the mechanic, but also how interesting it is and rewarding if used properly. Some honorable mentions are Lady Deathwhisper's Touch of Insignificance, Soul Consumption in Ruby Sanctum 25 Heroic, Twin Jormungar's Paralytic Toxin, Mimiron's Appeal X2 Laser Barrage, Thorim's Lightning Shock, and finally Amalon the Stormwatcher's Ads. And with that being said, I'll remind you that this is just one man's opinion, and with that said, let go! Number 5. Algalon's Big Bang. We are jumping into the deep right away with Algalon's Big Bang. An ability that deals around 100k damage before any mitigations. It can one-shot most any class, and even more important, if there is no one that takes the hit, Algalon will ascend into the heavens, which basically means that he pieces out and instantly annihilates your entire raid. Not a good time. In order to avoid that from happening, one player must stay out. Stay out? What do you mean, Hobby? Well, see, this is why Algalon's Big Bang is on number 5, because not only does it stand out by itself as a raid-threatening ability, it also requires another mechanic from this fight to be used in order to survive it. For classes that cannot pop an immunity or near immunity spell such as Shadow Priest Dispersion or Mage's Ice Block. The other mechanic I am referring to is none other than the collapsing stars, and more specifically the black holes they leave behind. How to properly deal with collapsing stars and living constellations is an entire video on its own, but for now all you need to know is that when a collapsing star dies, it leaves a black hole, and if you enter the black hole when Big Bang is being cast, you can avoid its damage altogether. In order for the raid not to wipe, however, you need to have that one person outside, usually a tank with a strong defensive cooldown like Divine Protection, Shield Wall, or Icebound Fortitude, or really any similar tank cooldowns. Algalon is a fast-paced and mechanically hard fight, and in its heart lies Big Bang, our number 5. Number 4! Lady Deathwhisper Shades. Oh dear. This list is gonna give me nightmares by making me think of all the times I was personally involved in wiping the raid, because I had my monitor turned off, therefore I could not see the shades come to me and the poor healer next to me. Everyone's HP is a bit low, but I think we'll manage it. And there goes half the melee.
You are weak-minded, powerless to resist my will!
The main tank just got mind controlled, what do we do, Abby? These are all common questions you can ask or hear when one is wiping his ass off at Lady Deathwhisper Heroic. Note that the heroic part is very important. This fight on normal is pretty much a piece of cake. On normal, all of her abilities are downscaled and do about 66% less. Yeah, 1 mind control instead of 3. 1 shade instead of 3, you get the gist. A common theme you will notice in this list is not necessarily how the mechanic functions by itself, but rather how it affects the raid, the momentum of the raid, the strain on your healers and DPS on both healing and moving. The tank shouting in Discord about all sorts of things. Shit's crazy, really. Number 3. The Lich King's Defile. Wow! Stop before you tell me that I'm a noob in the comment section below and turn this video off. Please listen. Defile is one of those spells that can cause a perfect Lich King attempt to suddenly look like a massive noob orgy. Even the best of players can put a dot of a Defile at times, and that only shows its raid wiping potential. And what is that raid wiping potential actually? Does it A. Deal massive damage to you, B. Push you off the platform, or C. Make you literally want to kill yourself? I'll give you a few moments. That's how game shows tend to work. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all of the above! Everyone is a winner in this show, which really means that no one is a winner. Enjoy! So, because of the immense rage it can create in an otherwise decent pug or even in a guild run amongst guildies, I put this raid tracker on the number 3 slot. And as a former guildmaster myself, I always told my guildies that engineering is the way to go, because if you get a shitty defile, you can make it a whole lot less shitty by using nitro boosts. And yes, it's boosts, not boots. Hey yo! Skrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr for a while, we enter Naxxramas. In its horrifying halls there are many abominations. Literally, look at the amount, it's fucking crazy. Did you know Thaddius is made out of bodies of dead women and children harvested by the Scourge? Gross. By the looks of him or her or it looks like your usual tank and spank encounter. But when you see the arena you fight this boss in, you can sense something is different here. And different it is. Like I mentioned in the intro, a mechanic needs to be interesting and rewarding, as well as punishing and borderline frustrating. And Polarity Shift is all of the above. At the start of the fight you have to split up your ground in 2 smaller groups to fight 2 mini-bosses. Kill them at the same time and jump down onto the platform. Not all of you though. A few ranged DPS should stay up on the platform where you just killed the mini-bosses, so they aren't affected much by Polarity Shift. As soon as the boss wakes up, he will start either shooting balls of Raid Wipe or hit the properly positioned tank in front of him. After a while, Polarity Shift is used. Everyone now has one of 2 debuffs, plus or minus. Not you. The thing to be ecstatic about is that when 2 minuses or 2 pluses stack up, they boost each other's damage by 10%. This stacks, so if 10 people with a plus stack up, that's 100% damage increase. Nice! So what's the drawback? Well, if you are standing next to one person with the opposite debuff of you, say you have minus and the other person has plus, you take 4.5k damage after 5 seconds until you spread from each other. This also stacks, so if 10 people with the wrong debuff stand near you, that's 45k damage, yay. Extremely fun to try hard, even more fun if you try to do the achievement as well. Thaddius Polarity Shift has always had and always will have a special place in that little Naxxramas heart of mine. Number 1. Oh dear lord. Who do I begin? Wait, what? Where do I begin? Look at all this shit. I can't even decide what I want to pick for the hardest mechanic on this boss. Like, how do you explain this fight to people who don't even know you? I mean, who've never been there, and even if they just got carried once or twice, they will never understand the actual power of Zero Lights. Oh, the power. Oh shit. Huh? Oh, it's Vanva. Vanva.
What's up, white boy?
Have I failed everyone?
I expected nothing less from a white boy like you.
I see.
Oh, I feel so much better now that I've made up my mind. The entire fight is number 1. Not because any of this boss's mechanics don't stand out by themselves, trust me, they do. But the combination of the slow, tedious and highly controllable first phase, to the hectic splitting up of the group into smaller groups for phase 2. One group of people inside to enter the brains, while smaller groups of people outside must work together to sway off the debuffs, hentai-tentacles, all while avoiding death rays, malady of the mind and the general loss of sanity. It's lovely! Oh yeah, that whole thing you saw at the start of this entry, that's as real as it gets, except there's no magical black Vanva to bring you back to the light. Once sanity hits 0 in any of the phases, you are done for, and any damage you take from a plethora of debuffs and instant damage spells lower your sanity significantly. Should your sanity deplete, you turn into an obstacle for your own raid team. You'll be left mind controlled, possibly attacking your raid's healers or DPS. If you have survived the tedious first phase, the dreadful second phase, and now Yogg-Saron shows his final true form. Emerging out of the waters below, Yogg-Saron has the power to cripple anyone's mind if they look at them while he's casting Lunatic Gaze. It reduces sanity at an alarming rate and can only be handled by turning your actual in-game character away from him. Add besides that a silencing shout, several really strong adds that must be handled properly or they will one-shot the tank. And you've got yourself a mighty hard fight. If I had to pick between any of the specific mechanics from Yogg-Saron though, keeping in line with the list, it would be a toss-up between Zero Light's Immortal Guardians and the Insanity mechanic. Both feel genuinely unique and give a challenge like you've never had before. And upon beating that challenge, well man. And I think it goes without saying that I did actually get Realm's First Death's Demise on this on Warmane, and God, you owe it to yourself to do a Realm's First race at some point. It's another level. It's so much fun. And that's why, for me, also why the entire boss fight, not just one mechanic, the entire fight is number one. If you don't like it, you can fight me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see lists similar to this one, and I'll buy myself out of the window.